Welcome to this explainer. As a financial advisor, I sit down with clients literally every single week to review their financial health. And there's this one scenario that comes up constantly. A client will sit across from me, absolutely beaming with pride, saying they've just finished cleaning up their financial life. But the moment they tell me exactly what they did, my heart just sinks. So today, we're diving straight into a hidden danger in your financial portfolio. We're going to look at why closing old credit accounts is actually one of the most self-sabotaging moves you can make, and how it can completely destroy the hard work you've put into your financial reputation. Look, I completely get the psychology here. You just paid off that old credit card you haven't used in years. It feels amazing, right? That heavy weight is finally off your shoulders. So the logical next step, the one that feels like peak adulting, is to pick up the phone, call the bank, close the account, and officially declutter your life. You want to tie up those loose ends. It makes perfect sense for those of us who like things neat and organized. But before you pick up that phone, I really need you to stop right there. Because what feels like a highly organized, responsible move to you is actually an absolute hard F-tier strategy in the financial world. Executing this one single action can tank your credit score by 20, 30, or even 50 points, literally overnight. I have personally seen clients lose their hard-earned elite score status simply because they wanted fewer pieces of plastic in their wallet. So let's break down this massive disconnect. You think you're being responsible by cutting out the clutter. But you've got to remember, your credit score isn't a human being judging how tidy your wallet is. It's a cold, calculating algorithm. And in the eyes of that algorithm, you aren't cleaning up. What you're actually doing is systematically destroying your own financial leverage. The system measures risk, not neatness. Let's get into part one, the denominator disaster. To really understand why this happens, we have to look under the hood at the financial plumbing of your credit score. There are two major mechanical traps the algorithm uses against you when you close an account. This first one, the denominator disaster, revolves around a heavily weighted factor called your utilization ratio. Now, this is just a fancy banking term for a very simple fraction. It's how much of your total available credit you are actually using at any given time. And trust me, the algorithm monitors this ratio like a hawk to see if you're overextending yourself. Let's look at how this math plays out in the real world. Imagine you've got 3 credit cards with a combined total limit of $10,000. That $10,000, that's your denominator. Now, if you're currently carrying a $3,000 balance across those cards, your utilization ratio is a perfect, extremely safe 30%. The algorithm looks at this bright green 70% of unused credit and says, awesome, this client is managing their debt responsibly. They've plenty of breathing room. And right here is where the trap snaps shut. Let's say one of those 3 cards is an old one you never use anymore. It has a $4,000 limit and a 0 balance. So you call the bank and close it. Instantly, your total available credit, our denominator, drops from $10,000 down to $6,000. But wait, you still have that $3,000 balance on your other cards, right? So suddenly, your utilization ratio just spiked from a safe 30% to a very dangerous 50%. You didn't spend a single extra dime, you didn't go on a shopping spree, but mathematically, you suddenly look maxed out. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that this mathematical spike completely tricks the algorithm. To a computer program, jumping from 30 to 50% utilization out of nowhere signals that you are suddenly desperate for cash. It thinks you've entered the panic zone or some sort of financial crisis, and it immediately reflects that perceived risk by slashing your credit score. You are literally getting penalized for a crisis that doesn't even exist. But unfortunately, the bleeding doesn't stop there. Moving on to part 2, erasing your financial resume. This second algorithmic penalty targets the actual history and the hard work you've put into building a rock-solid financial reputation over the years. The credit system heavily rewards you for having a long, established, and stable history. In fact, the age of your oldest account plus the average age of all your accounts combined makes up a massive 15% of your total credit score. And let me tell you, 15% is huge when you're fighting for the absolute best mortgage rates or car loan terms. So when you close an old account, especially your oldest one, you are effectively taking a pair of scissors to your financial resume. You're actively telling the bank, hey, please just go ahead and ignore those 10 years of perfect payment history I had with this card. Think of it like this. It would be exactly like deleting your first 5 years of work experience from your LinkedIn profile just because you don't work at that company anymore. It makes you look vastly less experienced. To lenders, shrinking your history just makes you look like a financial ghost. Now, I often have clients ask me, well, won't they penalize me if I just leave the card open and don't use it? The answer is a hard no. Closing an account triggers a dropped limit and screams crisis to the algorithm. But simply not using it, that signals stable, available credit. The credit algorithm easily tells the difference between actual risk, which is closing accounts and spiking your utilization, and simple inactivity. Inactivity is totally safe. Let's take a look at the timeline of score impact. I want to trace this out because you really need to understand exactly how fast this well-intentioned mistake ripples through your credit file. Check this out. On day 1, you do the right thing and pay off the card. Awesome. On day 2, you make the fatal error of calling the bank to close it. Immediately, literally the second that agent hits close on their keyboard, your denominator drops and your average credit history shortens. Overnight, the credit bureaus run their algorithmic updates, and by the very next day, you log into your banking app and boom, you see a 30 to 50-point score drop. It is wildly fast, and repairing it can take months, sometimes even years. All right, so how do we fix this? Enter the Keep It Open protocol. My job as your advisor isn't just to scare you with warnings, it's to give you the exact strategy to win. So how do we handle those old, annoying cards that you genuinely just don't want to use anymore? We use what I call the Keep It Open protocol. It's an actionable, step-by-step solution to outsmart the system. This foolproof plan is designed to keep your score perfectly intact while removing the headache of managing unwanted cards. And it all depends on one thing: whether the card charges you an annual fee or not. Step 1. Check for an annual fee. If it's a free card, my advice is incredibly simple. Never, ever close it. Period. Free cards cost you absolutely nothing to hold on to, and they act as the essential ballast keeping your financial ship steady. They quietly sit in the background, artificially inflating your total available credit and extending your average age of accounts. Now, you do have to stop the bank from quietly closing the account due to inactivity, right? That's where the Netflix strategy comes in. It's brilliant. Here's exactly what you do. Take that old free card, put one small recurring subscription on it, like Netflix, Spotify, or your iCloud storage plan. Set the credit card to auto-pay the balance in full every single month straight from your checking account. Then, literally take the physical plastic card and go hide it in a sock drawer. You never have to think about it again, but the algorithm, it sees a perfectly active, highly responsible account month after month. All right, step 2. What if the card does have a hefty $95 or $250 annual fee, and you just aren't getting any value from it anymore? Listen closely. You still do not cancel it. Instead, you call the bank and you use these exact words. You ask for a product change or a downgrade. You want the rep to move your account to a basic entry-level version of that card with absolutely zero annual fee. By doing a product change, you successfully shed the annual cost, but the bank lets you keep the exact same account number, the same high credit limit, and most importantly, those decades of perfect credit history. By successfully deploying these strategies and keeping these anchor accounts open, you're making sure your available credit stays incredibly high and your credit history stays wonderfully long. This specific combination is basically the holy grail of credit scoring. It's exactly what maintains your status as an elite borrower in the eyes of lenders, ensuring you always, always get the lowest interest rates possible. The reality is, the credit system is built on rules that just aren't intuitive to the average consumer. What feels responsible and organized to you can often trigger massive penalties from a computer program. But once you know the mechanics, once you truly understand the denominator disaster and the immense value of your financial resume, you stop being a victim of those unintuitive rules. So I want to leave you with this one question to think about regarding your own wallet. Are you actually building your credit, or are you just blindly feeding the algorithm? Take control of your financial leverage, keep those old accounts open, and outsmart the system.